Thank you, Russ. Ann?
Yes, I want to second everything that's been said so far, and also to say that I've had to turn away people with cancer because I can't produce as much medicine anymore, because with only 12 vegetative plants, that's only going to be 12 flowering plants. I can't make more from nothing. And there are so many inconsistencies and ambiguities in the law that when you're trying to help people, it's very, very hard not to put them at risk or not to put yourself at risk. And I'd like to bring up one other thing that maybe you can fix while you're at it, just a clarification. There are many people who are too sick to smoke cannabis, and they benefit from eating it infused into food grade oils. So for example, I'll take an ounce of cannabis and I'll cook it into some oil. This is olive oil, and I'll give it to them to eat. And then I strain out the cannabis and dispose of it. That's gone. Now, the way the law is written, if the Attorney General wanted to hurt me, he could say this is a pound of cannabis, even though it's only an ounce of cannabis that I put into 16 ounces of oil. And that's a terrible thing to tell someone with cancer, that I'm going to cook this into something you can use, but be careful because you could be arrested as a felon for having it. And I hope you'll look at this in the big picture and realize that these little laws, we used to be so afraid of cannabis because we didn't know what it was. But as we're finding what a healing force it is for people, I really think we have to step back and stop looking at restricting and start thinking about enabling. And if I do have any more time left, I'd like to give it to Joanne.
So there's a dosing issue.
Excuse me?
It's a dosing issue.
Well, this is 1 ounce of cannabis that I put in a crock pot with some oil, and I cooked it in my oven, and then I strained it. And it's got the cannabinoids infused in here, so someone can take a teaspoon and measure it out like medicine and just drink it, or have it in a cup of tea, or you can put it in capsules. Mm-hmm. But this is still an ounce of cannabis, even though now it weighs a pound. It's because I cooked it into oil. But the way the law is written, it says that if there's even a detectable amount of cannabis in this, it's supposed to count as a pound of cannabis. That it can't be right. And when I read in the paper, Mr. Kilmartin actually saying that was his interpretation of the law, and that he would call that a pound of cannabis.
Okay, well, I see the Attorney General's office in the room, so I'm sure we'll hear from them later, and maybe they can address that.
I know that's not this bill, but it's right. Part of the whole big picture of hurting people who are trying to do the right thing.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Any other questions? Joanne?